the easiest out of the 6 is going to have to be level 1 challenges. Not to get confused though, when I first did it, it was obviously my first challenge that I'd ever tried or even seen on YouTube, and I thought, let me give it a go, and it took me ages at the time. But I think if I was to try it again now, I'd find it a lot easier because I'm probably better at the game now than I was back then. But yeah, it's still a really hard challenge. It takes a lot of time as well, and one lacks in concentration and you're dead, so it is pretty hard. The hardest part of this challenge was finding a position to have my hands in and press all the buttons, or be able to press all the buttons when I needed to. Yeah, I think this one looks a lot harder than it is, because like I say, once you get that position in, it's not too difficult. It's just getting used to knowing, right, so it's my right finger that presses this and left that presses that. It's just getting used to knowing where your hands should be and what they do when they're there. But yeah, first time trying, took me hours and hours and hours, I'll be honest. It's a funny one because if I fought a harder Valkyrie, I'd probably put it a bit higher, but the one I fought wasn't the hardest Valkyrie, and I did find it hard. But at the same time, I feel like once you get used to the noises that you hear, you can kind of see the game. I know that sounds silly, but if you've done it, you'll understand what I mean. From what you can hear, you can see where things are, and you kind of get used to it. I'll probably give this challenge another go just to see how I get on fighting a harder Valkyrie though. This challenge could have easily been topped. I'd done this for 24 hours straight and I died for 24 hours straight. Seeing it again now and having to watch it back a little bit is giving me PTSD. If you ever decide to do one of the challenges I've done, whatever you do not do this one. It's just not worth it. I think I'd redo all my challenges for fun, but I would never touch this one again. I just wouldn't. It was so stressful. This was the only challenge that actually caused me physical pain. My little finger, I'd done this for I think 10 hours straight twice, and yeah, my little finger was just pulsing. At one point I couldn't move it at all and I thought I'd broken it or something. It was hard, but again, it was a whole idea of working out where my hand should be, how my controller should be, because it ended up I had a controller facing sideways. I know it looks like it's facing forward on the screen, but I had it facing sideways, so I was playing the game with my pad facing my right and me looking forward, so it was just a bit crazy trying to work out what the best way to do it was. And number 1 has to be Rubik's Cube. Reason being, when you're doing two things that are complicated at once, your brain sometimes just shuts off. And I didn't know that until I started this challenge. So there'd be a lot of times where I just wouldn't turn the Rubik's Cube, or I'd forget what algorithm to do, or I wouldn't dodge, or yeah, I wouldn't attack, I would just freeze. My brain would just stop working. So for that reason alone, it would have to be the one that goes top, because it just caused my brain so much hassle. And then on top of that, your hands get sweaty, then the Rubik's Cube gets slippy, and there's just a lot of things going on at once. So they're my top 6 challenges. If you want to see more, then feel free to subscribe, because I've got some other ideas that are really stupid, but I'm going to give it a go anyway. And thanks for watching if you got this far, and if you want to see the videos in this video, then I'll put a link in the description for all of them as well. Goodbye.